So please let's start with the first point, the nominal exchange rate. This is our first point. We are starting with what is it? The nominal exchange rate. This is the exchange rate you can find on websites in the central banks and so on. This is the nominal exchange rate. I am writing here. I will share with you the painting now. And what is it? The nominal exchange rate. I am just now writing here one nominal exchange rate, that 1 euro is for 25 Czech crowns. 1 euro for 25 Czech crowns. So what is it? The exchange rate. The exchange rate says how many domestic currency units you must pay for one foreign currency unit. How many domestic currency units you must pay for one foreign currency unit. Okay, but at the same time I can write another shape that 1 Czech crown is for, if you do 1 over 1 divided by 25, then it is 0.0400 euros for 1 Czech crown. It's also the exchange rate, but in another form. Now you say how many foreign currency units it's necessary to pay for one domestic. So the first possibility, that 1 euro is for 25 Czech crowns, this is the direct quotation. In the bracket, you have the indirect quotation. So if there will be the change in the exchange rate, let's say there will be the change from 1 euro 25 to 1 euro for 24 Czech crowns, I will write that at the same time 1 Czech crown is for 1 euro 0.0416. 1 Czech crown is for 0.0416 euros. You can see, if you compare both lines in the bracket, that's the reason why I am writing it also in this form. You can see from the first bracket to the second bracket that the Czech crown appreciated. Czech crown is now more expensive. You can see it. You must pay more euros for 1 Czech crown. So we can say that this is the appreciation of the Czech crown. The appreciation of the Czech crown. Once more, if you see both brackets, you can see very well that in the first line, Czech crown, the price of the Czech crown was 0.0400. In the second line, 1 Czech crown is for 0.0416. You must pay more for 1 Czech crown. So you can see now the Czech crown is more expensive. The Czech crown appreciated. Let's do the second change with the Czech crown. That means now if you compare the first and third line, now there will be change to 26 Czech crowns for €1. 26 Czech crowns for €1. At this time, 1 Czech crown is for 0.0384 euros. And if you compare now the first and the third bracket, you can see now you pay less for 1 Czech crown, only 0.0384. What does it mean? Now the Czech crown is cheaper, you pay less, and we can call the situation depreciation of the Czech currency. Depreciation of the Czech currency. So, once more, now we have talked about the basic words, appreciation, depreciation, which I'm going to use in this topic so you can understand why we say that the Czech crown appreciated and depreciated. The usual form is to say €1 is 4.25 and that appreciation is €1 for 24. But you can imagine these brackets and you really see that the domestic currency, in my case Czech crown, appreciated. So Czech crown is, from my view, domestic currency. So I would like to say that the currency market is the same as other markets. That means the market with apples, the market with butter, and everything works in the same way, right? So, if there is demand, if for example demand for butter is increasing, the price of butter is increasing. Once more, demand for butter or apples or just normal product is increasing, then the price is also increasing. The same is with the currency. If the demand for the Czech crown is increasing, or for the domestic currency is increasing, for me it's the Czech crown. If the demand, please write it, if the demand for the Czech crown is increasing, if the demand for the Czech crown is increasing, the price of the Czech crown is increasing. The price of the Czech crown is increasing. And the Czech crown is appreciating. It's appreciating. Once more, if the demand for the Czech currency is increasing, the price of the Czech crown is increasing too, and the Czech crown is appreciating. It's also true, opposite, if the demand for apples or butter is decreasing, the price of them is going down. And this is the same with the currency. If the demand for the Czech crown is decreasing, the price of it is going down, and the Czech crown is depreciating. So this is the demand side. Let's now go to the supply side. So imagine, for example, again the supply of butter or apples. So if the supply of butter or apples is increasing, there are many apples in the market, the price of them is going down. This is the same with the currency. If the supply of the Czech crown is increasing in the currency market, the price of the Czech crown is going down and the Czech crown is depreciating, right? So once more, if the supply of the Czech crown is increasing, the price of it is decreasing, the price of it is decreasing, price of the Czech crown is decreasing, and the Czech crown is depreciating. So if the supply of the Czech crown is increasing, the price of the Czech crown is decreasing, and the Czech crown is depreciating. Also, opposite is true if the supply of the Czech crown is decreasing, the price of the Czech crown is going down, and the Czech crown, if their supply is going down, the price of it is going up. There is the less Czech crowns in the market, and the Czech crown is appreciating. So I would like to remind of it because it's necessary to understand that all relations are here the same, right? Everything is the same as in the regular market, in the currency market. So now I would like you to write what the influence, please write the influence of appreciation and depreciation. So the influence of appreciation and depreciation on exporters and importers. So please let's do together the table. What I am using always because I think it's very clear for you. So we are all the time talking about currency market and now nominal exchange rate, about the nominal exchange rate, and we will have 3 exchange rate as we have talked about before. There are 3 nominal exchange rates. The basic situation will be that 1 euro is for 25 Czech crowns. If the exchange rate changes to 24, it will be appreciation. If the exchange rate changes to 26 Czech crowns for 1 euro, it's depreciation. So once more, we have 3 nominal exchange rates. The basic situation will be 25, and there will be changes to 24 for 1 euro or to 26 for 1 euro in Czech crowns. The first situation will be appreciation and the second situation depreciation. So let's go to import at first. I am an importer and I am importing into the country, or I import to the country some bike from Germany, for example. So I buy all those bikes in Germany, or one bike in Germany. I must pay in euros. And I sell this bike in the Czech market for Czech crowns. So we are in the basic situation. I buy the bike for 1,000 euros in the German market, and I import it into the Czech Republic, and to multiply it times 25, it's 25 Czech crowns. So this bike is in the Czech market for 25,000 Czech crowns. Now I buy the same bike. This is the same bike, the same price. The only change is the change in the nominal exchange rate. The Czech crown has appreciated, right? So now I will say sell the same bike at 24,000 Czech crowns. So the bike is the same, the price of the bike is the same. The only change is the change in the nominal exchange rate. Now you can see the bike in the Czech market is cheaper. Let's go to the third situation. I buy the same bike in Germany. The price of the bike is 1,000 euros. And now I will sell this bike at 26,000 Czech crowns. Now you can see that now the bike will be more expensive in our domestic market. This is the first situation. The second situation is the situation of exporters. Let's say I am the exporter and I am producing and exporting motorbike, for example. The price of motorbike, I produce it at 30,000 Czech crowns, and I am exporting it into Germany, and in Germany I will sell it 30,000 divided by 25 is 1,200 euros. So the basic situation, I produce the motorbike for 30,000 Czech crowns over 25. So in the German market, the motorbike cost 1,200 euros. So the second situation is the appreciation of the Czech crown. But I'm an exporter. I produce the motorbike at 30,000. Nothing has changed. But now the only change again is the change in the exchange rate. The Czech crown has appreciated, and now 30,000 over 24 is more. Now you can see I can sell this motorbike in the German market more expensive. Now it's 1,250. So I will not be so competitive. You can see it now. On the other hand, if the Czech crowns depreciates, I produce the same motorbike, the price is the same. So 30,000 divided by 26 is about 1,154. So now motorbike will be in the German market cheaper. So you can see now very simple situation and what I wanted to tell you. Please, let's start with the situation of the appreciation of the Czech crown. There was the appreciation of the Czech crown. So what happened here? You can see it here. So you can see that because of appreciation, the imported products are now cheaper. You see it. And the exported products are more expensive. So once more, let's do the conclusion. Because of appreciation, because of appreciation, because of appreciation, the imported products are cheaper. The imported products are cheaper. Please write into the bracket, there will be increase. There will be increase in imports. Increase in imports because it's cheaper. And the exported products are more expensive in the foreign market. The exported products are more expensive in the foreign market. And that's the reason why exports will decrease. The exports will decrease. So once more, in case of appreciation, the imported products are in the domestic market cheaper. The imported products are in the domestic market cheaper. So there will be increase in imports. And the exported products are more expensive. That means there will be the decrease in exports. Right? So let's go to the situation of depreciation of the Czech currency. Depreciation of the Czech currency. And you can see again what happened. So because of depreciation of the domestic currency, the imported products now are in the domestic market more expensive. So we will not import so much. So the imports will decrease. On the other hand, the price of our products abroad is lower, so it will support our exports. So I will dictate. Because of depreciation of the domestic currency, because of depreciation of the domestic currency, the imported products are more expensive. The imported products are more expensive. So there will be decrease in imports, decrease in imports. And the exported products in the foreign market are cheaper, so there will be increase in exports, So this is the basic situation, what you should understand if they are talking in news or somewhere on TV that the domestic currency is appreciation, depreciation, and so on. I would like to tell you one situation. 20 years ago, there was a situation that, for example, maybe more than 20 years, 25 years ago, that I remember that one Czech crown was about $1 US dollar was about 42 Czech crowns, and now it's about $1 US dollar, about 20 Czech crowns. So you can see the steady appreciation of the Czech crown. You can see it. Very strong appreciation. It took about 25 years. But what does it mean for Czech imports? It means that the imports are cheaper and cheaper. You can see it in prices of electronics or other things. It's cheaper and cheaper because the Czech crown is appreciating. At the same time, it's true there is a technological development. It's also true. But now to buy, for example, a computer is not so expensive as it used to be 25 years ago. On the other hand, you should understand that it's a very hard situation for domestic producers, that Czech crown is appreciating because their products are more and more expensive abroad. So you should understand that the only way is to decrease costs. To decrease costs, what's a very good way for the companies. Yes, once more, because of it that the Czech crown is appreciating, our goods and services are abroad more expensive. So we would like to stay competitive. So the only way how to stay competitive is to decrease costs by usage of technological development, innovations, and so on. On the other hand, if you see the situation with depreciation, what happened here in the Czech Republic, 2013, Czech Central Bank intervened in the currency market. So there were the interventions of the Czech Central Bank. And the interventions caused that there was a change in the exchange rate from €1 is for 25 Czech crowns to €1 about 27 or 28 Czech crowns. Because of these interventions, we will explain further how it works with interventions. But what happened? So the Czech crown depreciated from 25 to 28. What did it mean for imports and exports? You can see that for importers, it's bad, that the imported goods and services were more expensive for us as consumers, more expensive. Because of depreciation, the imported goods in the domestic market is more expensive. On the other hand, it helps to domestic exporters. You can see it here. Because of depreciation, their products are cheaper in the foreign market, because now it's not divided by 25, it's divided by 28. So the products are cheaper, and it helps to domestic exporters. It supports them, right? So it supports them. That means their products are abroad cheaper. Sometimes we are saying that it's the pillow for exporters. It helps them. It's not necessary to innovate. It's not necessary to reduce costs. But by means of depreciation of the domestic currency, you can have better conditions. Right. So I would like you to remember this table, this easy table, because it's very easy to imagine, and I will use it in many situations if we will explain exchange rate or we will explain then balance of payments. Okay, let's go further to the currency market. What is it? Currency market, we have talked about it, that there is demand and supply. Who is in the currency market? Who is in the currency market? At first, there are traders connected with international trade, traders, exporters and importers. Exporters and importers. So, at first, I would like to explain let's start with importers. Please now pay attention to it. It's sometimes a problem for students. So, what about importers? What do they want in the currency market? What do they want to buy? What they want to sell? So, I am an importer. I have a shop with shoes and I would like to buy shoes in Germany. So, I must buy shoes in Germany for euros. And I am Czech company, Czech business, small Czech business, so I have Czech crowns. So I am coming to the currency market, usually I'm going to the bank, but I'm coming now to the currency market. So I am selling, offering Czech crowns. I have Czech crowns and I need euros. I need euros because I need to buy abroad. So once more, I am coming to the bank. I have Czech crowns and I need to buy euros because I will buy shoes for euros. Also me, if I'm traveling to Greece, for example, I go to the bank, I have Czech crowns, and I need euros. So I buy euros and sell Czech crowns.
Excuse me, the
Yes.
D
is
euro.
Demand.
Thank you.
Demand for euros. Okay. Supply of the Czech crowns, demand for euros. Thank you. So, what about exporters? Now, please, sometimes it's a problem to understand. So, please, what's the situation? I am the Czech company. I am exporting some products. I am exporting these products to Germany, and they pay me, consumers pay me by euros. But I need Czech crowns because I have my business here. I must give wages to my employees. I must pay invoices for electricity. So I need Czech crowns. So as an exporter, I have euros. So I'm coming to the currency market and I am offering, I am selling, I'm supplying euros. I have euros because I sold my products. And I demand for Czech crowns because I need Czech crowns for paying wages, for paying invoices for electricity, I paying rents, and so on. So sometimes it's a problem for students to understand it, that as an exporter, I have foreign currency, what I'm selling in the currency market. On the other hand, I demand for Czech crowns. So now let's do some exercises, please, with it. I will give you some situation. So everything we will do from the view of the Czech Republic is the domestic economy. So what about, and there will be increase in our exports. Increase in Czech exports and decrease in Czech imports. Oh, I cannot write imports. And you should decide if the Czech crown will depreciate or appreciate. I will give you some time to think of it. So once more, there is the increase in domestic exports. And the question is, will the Czech crown depreciate or appreciate? And the same in the second situation. If there is decrease in domestic imports, the question is if the Czech crown will depreciate or appreciate. I will give you some time. Please think of it, and then I will tell you the solution. So let's go to the first situation. So exporters have foreign currency, euros, and they are demanding for Czech crowns. So if there is increase in exports, there is increase in demand for Czech crowns, so the Czech crown will appreciate. Right? Once more, the exporters have foreign currency and they need Czech crowns. So they go to the currency market and demand for Czech crown. So there is increase in the demand for the Czech crown, and if there is increase in demand for apples, the price of apples is going up. So the same with the Czech crown. If there is the demand for the domestic currency increasing, so the price of it is going up. So the Czech crown will appreciate. What about the second situation? So decrease in imports. So I have told you that importers come to the currency market. Importers come to the currency market. They have domestic currency, Czech crown, but they need foreign currency. They need euros. So if there is decrease in imports, that means that there is decrease in the supply of the Czech currency, decrease in the supply of the Czech currency. If there is decrease of the supply of any products, inclusive Czech crown, there is increase in the price of it. So the right solution is appreciation. Appreciation. So now I will give you 3 more situations. At this time, you will not know exactly there is increase or decrease in import. There will be some situation always from economy. You should think of it. What does it mean for domestic exports and imports? And then decide depreciation or appreciation. Let's have 2 countries, Czech Republic and Germany. Czech Republic is domestic country, Germany is the foreign country, 2 currencies, euro and the Czech crown. And the first situation will be there is the increase in GDP in Germany. What does it mean for the Czech crown? You should know that our exports are, the majority of our exports goes to Germany. So this is the necessary information. The second situation is that there is increase in prices in the Czech Republic, the price level, and this is price level in the Czech Republic. And the third situation is that there are imposed tariffs in the Czech Republic. It's impossible from Germany because we are in one union, but imagine that it's possible to impose tariffs from Germany to the Czech, for imports from Germany to the Czech Republic. So again, you should decide what will happen with the Czech crown, if it will in the domestic market depreciate or appreciate. So I will give you again some time.
Excuse me, is that
Yes.
tariffs increased for imports to Czech Republic?
Yeah, there were imposed tariffs in the Czech Republic. Yes, and you should know what's happening with imports in case of imposition of tariffs. You know, so once more, it's if the Czech Republic would impose tariffs on German goods and services, for example. It's impossible in the reality, but imagine the situation. The questions are always the same: depreciation or appreciation of the domestic currency, of the Czech crown. So let's go to the A case. There is the boom in Germany, increase in GDP. Generally, we are always very happy if there is the increase, economic increase in Germany, because we are very closely connected to Germany. And for us, it means we can export there more. We can export there more. So there is increase in the Czech exports, right? Because German consumers are buying more. So there is increase in our exports. What does it mean? That means that exporters, Czech exporters, have euros, but they need more Czech crowns. So there is increasing demand for the Czech crown. There is increasing demand for the Czech crown. You know it. If there is increasing demand for any product, so the price of them is increasing. The same is with the Czech crown, so the Czech crown will appreciate. The Czech crown will appreciate. Right. Let's go to the second case. If there is the increase in price level in the Czech Republic, other things equal, that means there is no change in prices in Germany. That means that our goods and services are now more expensive. They are now more expensive. So there are decreasing imports from our decreasing Czech imports. And maybe at the same time we will, decreasing our Czech exports, and at the same time, maybe we will import more from Germany because it will be relatively cheaper. Now, once more, we will increase our imports. Once more, our goods and services are now more expensive. We will export them less and we will import more because the German products are relatively cheaper. So what about decrease in exports? You know that exporters are demanding Czech crown. So there is decrease in demand for Czech crown. So that means that the Czech crown should depreciate. The price of the Czech crown should go down. Have a look at the increase of imports. The influence is the same. So if there are increasing imports, that means there is from Germany. So the importers are selling Czech crowns, so there is increasing supply of the Czech crown, we can say. So both would influence, the Czech crown would depreciate. So there is decreasing demand and increasing supply, so the Czech crown would depreciate. So exports are decreasing, imports are going up, so the Czech crown would depreciate. So the last situation, that there is increase in, there are imposed tariffs in the Czech Republic. If you remember the graph, in case of the tariff, normally we would import this quantity, and if there is a tariff, we import less only. So there is decrease in imports. You know it because price is now higher in the domestic market. So under the free trade, we imported this line. Now we are importing less. So there is decrease in imports. So importers are offering Czech crowns. So there is decrease in the supply of the Czech crown. So there will be appreciation of the domestic currency, other things equal. Other things equal means that we always assess just one factor because we want to learn it, how it works. Other things equal. So, once more, in all three situations, you should always decide what's happening with exports and imports, and then decide increase or decrease in imports, exports, and then what about the domestic currency. Right? So, this is the first group, importers, exporters connected with the international trade. The second group are investors. Let's go to them, investors. So the second group are investors. I always ask my students, what group is bigger? The exporters, importers, or investors? Who is the bigger part of the currency market? Maybe you would be surprised that if the currency market would be 100%, the whole currency market would be 100% for exporters and importers in the whole international world international trade. It's only 3 to 4%. Just for investors is the majority. So they are building the majority of the demand and supply in the currency market. So once more, for traders, it's only 3 to 4%. For investors, it's about 97%. It's a huge number. So you can understand that they can influence the currency market really fundamentally. So investors, there are investors who are doing long-term capital movement, long-term investors. For example, foreign direct investments and long-term loans. Foreign direct investments and long-term loans. Let's talk about it, and we will also discuss what the influence on the nominal exchange rate in the currency market. So, there are, for example, car producers like Volkswagen and Hyundai in the Czech Republic. So there was a capital inflow from these investors, capital inflow into the Czech Republic. So capital inflow into the Czech Republic. So imagine Hyundai or Volkswagen, German company, or Hyundai, maybe Korean company. So these investors had foreign currency, but they needed to buy land here in the Czech Republic for Czech crowns. They needed to build factories. They bought work from Czech companies. They needed to hire people and so on. So they had foreign currency. I will write in the currency market. They are offering, selling euros, but they were demanding for Czech crowns. Right? Was the capital inflow. Once more, all these Tesco, these chains, or Tesco and all Carrefour, all companies you can imagine, which wanted to invest here in the Czech Republic. That means there were capital inflow into the economy. They had foreign currencies and they demanded for Czech crowns. So if there is the capital inflow, that means there is demand for Czech crown. The Czech crown would appreciate. On the other hand, now some Czech companies are able to invest abroad. So there is the capital outflow. They have some money, some capital, and they can decide, I will invest in Austria, I will invest in Germany, I will have there my subsidies. So there is a capital outflow from Czech Republic. So they have Czech crowns, but they need to buy abroad, land, hire people, build the factory, and so on. So they are demanding foreign currency. So now there will be the depreciation of the Czech, depreciation of our domestic currency. The same with the long-term loans. Imagine I am the Czech company and I need money, so I will take abroad a loan. So I have the loan in euros, but I need Czech crowns because I will buy here something. So it's again the capital inflow. I have euros, right? Capital inflow, I have euros, but I need Czech crowns, so the Czech crown will appreciate. After some time, I will have to pay off the loan, repayment of the loan. So I have Czech crowns and I have to repay in euros again in Germany. So I will come to the currency market, I will have Czech crowns and I will demand for euros, I will buy euros. So at this point, the Czech currency will nominally depreciate. You can see it, it's always in case of inflow into the economy, it's appreciation. In case of outflow, it's depreciation. Imagine, for example, if we have money from the European Union, the quantity is not so huge that it could influence the exchange rate, but other things equal. We are just learning how it works with depreciation, appreciation. So the European Union gives us some money from European funds. This money is in euros, so we get euros, but now we need to invest here in villages. For example, we build something, for example, the road. We need to hire people to buy the work of some Czech companies. So we will need Czech crowns. So it's again the capital inflow into the Czech Republic, so the Czech crown would appreciate. There are also short-term capital movements. There are these arbitrage and speculative operations. Arbitrage and speculative operations. So I would like to remind you this circle. This is the currency market. So there are coming exporters of goods and services. There are coming importers. There are coming many investors. Someone is demanding Czech crowns, someone is demanding euros, dollars, and so on. So I would like you to understand how everything is coming to the currency market. So now we have talked about exporters, importers, and some investors who are coming there to exchange money. But the long-term reason means that if they are doing the foreign direct investment, they will stay in the country for years. That doesn't mean they will stay here overnight, as it's usual with the short-term capital movement, or that they will stay here only 1 month, 1 year. They are building factories or they are the chains. So they will stay definitely here for a very long time. Not forever probably, but for a very long time. It's just big investment. Short-term capital movement, it's also the reason why investors are entering the currency market. But I have told you that it can be even for some reasons overnight. They don't want to build any factory. They don't want to do any big investments, just develop production. They just come to use this currency market, to use differences in exchange rates, to use the difference in interest rates, right? So, for example, let's start with the arbitrage operations. Arbitrage operations.
Excuse me. Can I ask, what is written after short term? Is that arbitrages, a speculative OP?
And speculation operations, some trades. Do you understand?
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Yes, let's start with arbitrage operations. What is it? Please write that they use these operations, these trades use different exchange rates. These arbitrage operations use different exchange rate at the same time on different places. They use different exchange rates at the same time on different places. So I always explain it to my students that for you to understand it better by means of some product, because it's not necessary to do this arbitrage by means of currency. It's also possible to do it with product. So imagine Christmas tree, and I will use the different prices of the Christmas tree at the same time on different places. Imagine Christmas tree. So I can buy Christmas tree in the suburb of Prague for 500 Czech crown, and I can go to the city center and to sell it for 700 Czech crowns. That's just the arbitrage. I bought cheaper and I sold more expensive. Why I did it? It's clear. I have the difference. It's my profit, 200 Czech crowns. So once more, I bought for 500 and sold for 700. That's the arbitrage operation. So this is the same with the currency. So let's write, please. Imagine in Prague, here is the exchange rate, 1 euro for 25 Czech crowns. And in London, there is the exchange rate, 1 euro for 26 Czech crowns. So we are at the same time, the same moment. We have two different places, and I am doing so I can see it, and I have the idea, so I can do some profit here. So what I do in Prague, I buy 100 euro for 2,500 Czech crowns, and in London I sell 100 euro for 2,000 Czech crowns. You know why I did it? I did it because of this profit. So I would like to remind you of one thing. Please be careful. I have here difference in exchange rates, the whole crown, 1 Czech crown. It's because of pedagogical reason. I would like you to see it very simply. In the reality, there are differences 0.000 here somewhere at the decimal places. So there is very small difference, but I don't move the investors don't move 100 euros, they move billions Czech crowns or billions units. So then you can have also some profit. But it's not the finish. So once more, I notice there is the difference in exchange rate at the same moment in two different places. So I can have some profit here. So I bought 100 euros in Prague and sold 100 euros in London. But it's not the finish, because in Prague, all investors are starting to do the same thing. They all are buying euros. They all are demanding euros, right? They are all demanding in Prague euros and selling Czech crowns. That means they are supplying Czech crowns. So that means that the exchange rate in Prague will not stay 25. It will be more than 25 for 1 euro. So the Czech crown in Prague will depreciate. In London, all investors would like to do the same thing. They all would want to sell euros, and they all demand for Czech crowns. What does it mean? That means that the Czech crown, if they all demand for, everybody wants to buy Czech crowns, the Czech crown in London will appreciate. And you understand that these rates will continue until the exchange rate won't be the same in Prague and in London. They will be equal. Then the arbitrage will be stopped. Once more. As an investor, I can notice there is the difference in Prague and in London in the exchange rate, and I would like to use it. So I buy 100 euros in Prague, and I want to sell it in London, and I would like to make a profit. But in Prague, everybody starts to do it. That means the Czech crown in Prague would depreciate. In London, everybody wants to buy Czech crowns. In London, Czech crown will appreciate. I would like to go back to the Christmas tree. That would happen the same thing, because if I will buy in the suburb Christmas tree for 500 and all people will start to do the same thing, the price of Christmas tree in the suburb will be higher than 500. On the other hand, if we all sell in the city center the Christmas tree for 700 and we will come all people there, so the price will go down. So, and it will happen until the prices will be the same on both places. So we have talked about the speculative operation. Let's go to, about the arbitrage operations. And before going to speculative operations, I would like to talk about two more exchange rate. It's the spot rate. Please write spot rate. Spot rate. What's the spot rate? Please write it. That the spot rate is the exchange rate when contracts are done immediately. So contracts are concluded and the currencies are exchanged immediately. That means I will conclude with you some contract and we will exchange currency. That means within 2 days, because it takes some time before the currency comes on your account. But that means spot rate. That means that we concluded the contract and exchange currency immediately. There is the second possibility. This is the forward trade. That means that we will conclude the contract today. We will conclude the contract today. But in fact, we will exchange currency after some time. So the contract is concluded today, but we will exchange the currencies after some time. That means I will tell you, today is the 30th of March. I will tell you, so let's do the contract, currency contract at forward trade, and we will exchange the currencies after 30 days. What does it mean? That today we will have a look what the forward trade. It's about 26 Czech crowns for €1. So we have concluded today the price, and in 30 days we will only exchange the currencies. We cannot change the price, so we must do trade under the forward trade. It was concluded today. Then we will only exchange the currency. So please let's start with one exercise for you to understand what does it mean spot trade and forward trade, and it's a very important exercise. So let's imagine, please write the exercise. Imagine we have an exporter and he's exporting a tractor from the Czech Republic to Germany, for example, and he is expecting payment within 30 days after the delivery. So the tractor producer is expecting the payment within 30 days after the delivery. So he is expecting the payment of 100,000 euros. Today is the spot rate 25 Czech crowns for 1 euro. He knows the information with the forward rate. It's the exchange in after 30 days. It's 24.50 Czech crowns. And he also knows that his costs for the tractor production was 2,400,000 Czech crowns. So I will repeat the exercise once more. There is the exporter. He is exporting a tractor, and the price of the tractor is 100,000 euros. He is expecting payment within 30 days after the delivery. So he knows now the information that spot rate is 25 and forward rate is the exchange in 30 days is 24.5 Czech crowns. So the first situation that will be that I will be an exporter and I don't know anything about forward trade. I will just risk. So the first situation is risking. So let's have today, it's 30th of April. So I will get 100 euros. In 30 days, I will get 100 euros, and I go to the currency market. Imagine spot rate is again 25. So I will exchange 25 times 100 euros, and I will deduct my costs. So you know, in this case, I have the profit 100,000 Czech crowns. So once more, it's the 30th of April. So after 30 days, I will get the payment and I go to the bank. Spot rate is again 25. So I can exchange 25 times 100,000 euros. I will deduct my costs and I have the profit plus 100,000 Czech crowns. But with what it could happen? It could also happen that the spot rate would change. It could be 23. There is again, I am using very big number. It's not usually such a big difference in exchange rates, but imagine it for better explanation. So I go and exchange under the spot rate, and you can see what's happening. I was risking, and at this time I lost. minus 100,000 Czech crowns. So I lost money. What should I have done? I should have hedged. Today there is the 30th of March. I know I have exported the product and I know I will get money in 30 days. So I should conclude this contract under the forward trade, because I know that, so we will conclude this contract under the forward trade. So I'm not risking at all because I have concluded the price. It will be the forward trade. So on the 30th of April, I just finish this contract. We will just exchange money with someone, and I all the time knew that I will get 24.5 times 100,000 minus 2,400,000 equals plus 50,000 Czech crowns. There was no risk. I knew it on the 30th of March that I will have this profit. I didn't risk at all. So that's one of the reasons why it's necessary to know what's the spot trade, what's the forward trade, but it's necessary to hedge against the change of the spot trade, right? Nominal change in the market. So once more, and please remember this exercise because we will use it in any other situation. So once more, in the first situation, the exporter risked, and if there was a bad change in the spot rate, he lost. In the second situation, he didn't risk at all. He concluded the contract and under the forward trade, and he knew all the time there will be the profit plus 50,000 Czech crowns.
Excuse me, may I say
yes.
something? How can you be sure that the exchange rate in the future will be like higher than the exchange rate in the present than the spot rate?
You mean 24.5?
Yes, yes. How can you be sure with?
I know it here. I know it here. That's the bank says today. I know it today. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the contract. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
My bad.
I know it today. Thank you. So I will finish what I was talking about. I have talked about the short-term capital movement, and I have told you this is the speculative operations, why investors are also coming to the currency market, the speculative operations. So please write that the investors in speculative operations are using the change in the exchange rate in time. They are using the change in the exchange rate in time. In case of arbitrage, there were different places. Now there are different 2 points in time. So let's have a look here. So we have 2 points in time today and in 30 days. And I am a speculator. Imagine I know that there is the spot trade 33 Great Britain pounds for 1 Czech crown. Oh, opposite. Sorry. I would like it would be like this, but it's not. for 1 Great Britain pound. And I am a speculator and I expect increase in the spot rate to 35, but this is my speculation, you know. And I also know today, so the spot rate today is 33. I also know forward rate, it's 34. So I'm a speculator and I think there will be increase in spot rate from 33 to 35. So what I do today on the 30th of March, I buy, for example, 1,000 Great Britain pound under the forward rate with the delivery after 30 days. So today I buy 1,000 Great Britain pound. So I concluded today the contract under this price. And now here is the 30th of April. And I speculated, well, I was right, really. So I will finish at first, I will finish this contract from under the forward rate, so I will finish it. So I get 1,000 euros, Great Britain pounds, and I will pay for it 34,000 Czech crowns. So now I have 1,000 euros, pounds, and I paid 34,000. So we are finishing this contract. And I will immediately sell this 1,000 euro under the spot rate for 35. So now I will have 35,000 Czech crowns, and there is my profit plus 1,000 Czech crowns. So I will explain it once more. Today I will conclude this contract under the forward rate. So we have concluded the contract that we will in 30 days exchange. I will get 1,000 pounds and I will pay 34,000 Czech crowns. So on the 30th of April, we will exchange just money. Now I have 1,000 Great Britain pounds, and my speculation was right. The spot rate is 35. So I can immediately sell at what rate? So that means I will get 35,000. I have the profit plus 1,000 Czech crowns. Maybe you can ask me that I could buy all the 30s at spot rate. So you can see it. I could buy 1,000 here and I could sell 1,000 here and I would have profit 2,000 Czech crowns. But there is one important moment. As a speculator, I have no money. I cannot buy because I don't have Czech crowns. I am only waiting until this point and I will immediately post transaction on computer probably. So in mine accounting there will be only this profit. I didn't use any money for it. You know, I am so using this situation in the currency market. So it's time, please. I will stop now. Let's have a break for 15 minutes with people who are coming to the first seminar, and then we will have also the second seminar. So for now, thank you very much for your attention, and we will continue with the seminar in 15 minutes. Bye-bye. So let's continue, please, in our seminar. I would like you to open the material exchange rate. This is the document in document server in the information system, and also I have put it into the files in presentation. The name is exchange rate, and we have there exercises concerning today, what we have done today in the lecture. I would like you to start with exercises, numbers. I will write the numbers. I will wait then, and then we will check exercises together again, explain once more. So please work on these exercises, and then we will correct together. I am here at your disposal, but please try it on your own, and then we can check it together here.
Hello, excuse me. In number
Yes.
15, what is PPP?
Yeah, don't do this case. We haven't talked about yet.
But you
Except
said
from
you have
this,
to.
except from it. It's in 11. Where is it?
It's in 15.
15. Don't do it.
Don't do 15.
No, 15 do, but not the possibility A.
All right. Thank you.
Do it. So what exercise are you doing?
21.
21, okay. So I think we can start. I will read exercises, and if you have any question, you can ask me and I will explain once more. So ask me in a day or two. So let's start with exercise number 3, please. If the exchange rate is 25 Czech crown for €1, then after the depreciation of the Czech crown against euro by 10%, the nominal exchange rate will be B is true, 27.5. Okay. 11. Which from the following factors will cause the nominal appreciation of the domestic currency, other things equal? A. The domestic price level is increasing. So I will explain what's happening, each possibility. If the domestic price level is increasing, our exports will, so 11A, domestic price level is increasing, so our exports will be decreasing. I will repeat that exporters are coming to the currency market and they demand for Czech crown. So if the exports are decreasing, the demand for Czech crown is decreasing, and that's the reason why Czech crown is depreciating. The demand for apples is decreasing, so the price is decreasing. If the demand for Czech crowns is decreasing, the currency is depreciating. B, the domestic price level is decreasing, so that means our exports will increase. That means the exporters will have more euros and they will need more Czech crowns. So there will be increasing demand for Czech crowns. That means that the Czech crown will appreciate. So B is true. C, the supply of the domestic currency in the currency market is increasing. If there is a higher supply of anything, that means if there is a higher supply of anything, that means of apples, so the price is going down. It is the same with the currency, so that means the currency would depreciate. And D is the product in the domestic market is increasing. Decreasing. That means GDP is going down in the Czech Republic. That means that we will have less money. That means we will import less, so our imports are decreasing. Our imports are decreasing. What does it mean if our imports are decreasing? That means I am, as an importer, I am buying euros and selling Czech crowns, so I will supply less Czech crowns, so that means Czech currency will be appreciating nominally. So B and D is true. Let's go to 15. If the nominal exchange rate in the time t is 24 and the Czech crown will depreciate by 1%, then the exchange rate in the time t plus 1 is C is true, 4.24. 17. Importers, I will prepare the whiteboard. Importers of goods in the currency market. So 17A. Create a supply of the foreign currency. So I will repeat. Importer is coming to the currency market. He has domestic currency and he wants to buy foreign currency. So A is not true. B, create the demand for the foreign currency. True. C, create the supply of the domestic currency. True. And D, create the demand for the domestic currency. It's not true. 18. Which of the following factors will cause other things equal? That means we will always take only one situation into the account. The nominal depreciation of the currency. The nominal depreciation of the currency. 18a. Exports from the domestic country are increasing. So if exports are increasing, that means that exporters have more foreign currency and are demanding more Czech currency. So the demand for the Czech currency is increasing. That means Czech crown will appreciate. So we wouldn't, it's not true. B, imports into domestic currency are increasing. If imports are increasing, you know that importers have always Czech crowns and need foreign currency. So if imports are increasing, that means that there will be increase in the supply of the domestic currency, and it's true, it would depreciate. B is true. C, exports from the domestic country are decreasing. What does it mean? Exporters have foreign currency, they need domestic currency. So they demand for domestic currency, but the demand for the domestic currency is decreasing if exports are decreasing. So that means that the currency will nominally depreciate. So it's again true. And the possibility, imports into the domestic currency are decreasing. So imports are decreasing. What does it mean? That means that importers don't come so much so often to the currency market. So the supply of the domestic currency is lower. So that means that the currency would appreciate. So 18, B and C is true. 21. If the nominal exchange rate and the time t is 25, Czech crown will depreciate by 1%, so and so on. C is true, 25.25. 29. Oh, it's important. The supply of euros and the demand for Czech crown create in the currency market. That means who wants to buy Czech crowns, who is offering euros. A, Czech importers of goods and services from EU. So not true, because Czech importers would like to buy foreign currency, not Czech currency. B, Czech investors buying European assets. What is it? I have Czech crowns and I would like to buy some bonds, for example, for euros. Also not true, because I have Czech crowns and I need euros. C, European investors buying Czech assets. So I have euros and need Czech crowns. C is true. D, Czech exporters of goods and services is true. I have exported products and services, have foreign currency, and need domestic currency. True. C, D, true. And the last one is the exchange rate was 28, depreciated by 5, so A, 29.40. So, do you have any questions to these exercises? If not, I will give you some more exercises here. Please, I will write the situation on the whiteboard. Again, will be the question, depreciation or appreciation, everything from the view of the domestic currency always, and you should decide. So I am writing the situations. Please write it.
Excuse me, may I ask you? Did you answer the what was the right answers for 32?
32, yes. Sorry, maybe
because
not. Maybe not. Sorry. Yes, 32 is A.
A is true.
A, yes.
Okay.
Correct. So, depreciation or appreciation. So, please, let's start with these situations. What we have here. So, that means that increase of investments in the Czech Republic. Secondly, repayments of loans. You can start. I will write the situations. So you have 6 situations, please. It's always necessary to understand what's happening. It is the capital inflow or outflow, or if what does it do with exports and imports in case of trade. So you have some time now, and then we will correct again together and explain. So, which one are you doing? Tell me, finished?
5th.
Okay. So let's start with the first one, please. So if there is increase in investments in the Czech Republic, foreign direct investments, for example, foreigners are coming into the Czech Republic massively. That means they have foreign currency, but they need to buy here land and hire people and build factories, I don't know what. So there is the capital inflow and they are demanding Czech crown. There is increasing demand in Czech crowns, so the currency will be appreciating. So if we are repaying loans to Germany, so we have debts in euros, we have Czech currency. So we are offering Czech currency in the currency market. So there is increase in the supply of the Czech currency, and that means depreciation. 2 is depreciation. The Czech Republic cancelled tariffs. Now there is free trade. That means there is increase in imports. Once more, there will be more imports. What does it mean? That means that the importers would like to buy more foreign currency, will supply more to Czech currency. That means there will be again depreciation of the Czech currency, Czech crown. If there is decrease in price and the price level in Germany, the decrease in the price level in Germany, what does it mean? That means that other things equal, now the German products are relatively cheaper, relatively. You know, there are relations always from our previous lectures. So if the price level is going down, we will import more from Germany. We will import more. And if there is increase in imports, we will offer more Czech crowns. So again, depreciation. The economic recession in Germany is connected, what I have told you during the lecture, that our economy is very strongly connected to German economy. If there is the economic recession, there will be decrease in exports, because not so much will German people buy. So there will be decrease in in exports, and decrease in exports means that there will be decrease in the demand for the Czech crowns, because exporters, Czech exporters are exporting products, get euros and demand Czech crowns. Now we are not exporting so much. So we are not demanding for so much. So if there is decrease in demand, there will be again depreciation. And the last possibility, 6, Volkswagen repatriated profits into Germany. So Volkswagen has here the factory, Škoda Volkswagen, and he has some profit there, and it wants to move money from here to Germany, back home. What does it mean? They have Czech crowns, and they are offering Czech crowns and demanding for euros. There's capital outflow. It's the outflow, capital outflow. So that means again depreciation. So everything was depreciation except from the first exercise. So place your questions if there are any.
So whenever we have capital outflow, it's always depreciation of.
Yes, yes, sure.
And
okay.
We have capital inflow, it's appreciation.
Yes. Okay, but I would like you to understand the logic. Yes, not only like mechanically outflow, inflow, but why. You know, what does it mean? Why is it? To understand it, but you are right. Okay, if not, I would like to continue a little bit what's our lecture, because we will lose one lecture because there will be the Easter on the 30th of April. So I would like to continue a little bit with some. So I will show you this presentation.
Excuse me, may I interrupt for a minute?
Sorry?
Can I interrupt for a second? Just ask a quick question regarding So as I understood correctly, the schedule of the semester remains the same. So we are still supposed to have the final on 20 something of May, right?
We will have only only final test as it should be. Now the plan is that the exam period should start normally, but you know, I have the same information as you have. Nobody knows what will be as for what the government decides, you know.
Okay.
I will inform you immediately, but now the plan is we should have normal exam period.
Okay.
Yeah, I will give you whenever I have information. I give you, but now I have no other information. Probably you know it too.
Sure. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, welcome. So, I would like to share now with you this presentation. So I would like, please write, I will switch on again the recording, so I will tell you. Really, you don't see it. Now, so please, let's continue with these exchange rate regimes. Please, what is it? Exchange rate regime. Please, let's start with the sentence that each state can choose the exchange rate regime. So each state, each economy can choose.
Excuse me, is this lecture 8?
Sorry?
Would this be lecture 8?
Yeah, we are continuing in the lecture what we have interrupted today. Okay.
All right, so we didn't finish lecture 7, and this is continuation of lecture 7.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Welcome. So, exchange rate regime. Each state can choose its exchange rate regime. It's necessary to announce it. It's necessary to announce it to International Monetary Fund and to hold it. So once more, each state can choose its exchange rate regime, to announce it to the International Monetary Fund, and to hold it. We will explain these regimes, and it's necessary to understand what are the differences between these regimes and so on. Please write the first point, that means floating. The first possibility as for the floating, the free or independent floating, I can share here the painting again. So I will paint here what's floating. So I always paint this free floating like this. But it's really floating. The exchange rate, there are no barriers or something like that. And please write that this free floating, that means that the exchange rate is set in the currency market. The exchange rate is set in the currency market. The exchange rate is set in the currency market according to the demand and supply for the currency. The exchange rate is set in the currency market according to the demand and supply for the currency. And the central bank doesn't influence it. And the central bank doesn't influence it. So the central bank doesn't influence it. So this is the free floating. The second possibility of the floating is the managed, or sometimes called dirty, like opposite to clean. Managed floating, that someone is managing, can manage the exchange rate. It's again the floating, so please write the first part of the sentence that again the exchange rate is set in the currency market according to the demand and supply, according to the demand for the currency and supply of the currency. But now, because it's the managed exchange rate, the central bank can enter the currency market and influence the exchange rate. So the central bank can enter the currency market and influence it.
Could you repeat, please?
Repeat. Okay, so the managed exchange rate says this exchange rate is set in the currency market according to the demand and supply, demand for the currency and supply of the currency, but the central bank can influence it, can manage it. I will explain it, how it is done further. So, in case of floating, we use words like depreciation, appreciation. That's what I have told you before. Now let's go to the second group of exchange rate, second regime. These are this fixed exchange rate, and now it's important to understand the central bank declares officially. So me as a central bank will announce, we are declaring the fixed exchange rate with the central or official parity with the central or official parity. Look here, I will declare that the Czech Republic, it's not true, but if we would have fixed exchange rate, I would say the Czech Republic will have now fixed exchange rate with the central parity €1 for 25 Czech crowns, with the oscillatory belt plus minus 10%, plus minus 10%. And everybody knows that now the Czech Republic will have the exchange rate somewhere between 22.5, 27.5. There will be oscillating the fixed exchange rate, but the exchange rate is called fixed because there was officially fixed this central parity. It's not according to the demand and supply. The central bank fixed the central or the official parity. It's not set, it's not according to the demand for the currency and supply of the currency, as in case of floating. Floating means floating according to the demand and supply. Fixed means the announcement of the Czech Central Bank, for example, that we are going to use this fixed exchange rate. And now have a look, please. If I will decide as a Czech Central Bank that I will increase the central parity, for example, to 30, that means there will be the change of the central parity. I don't call it depreciation. I will call it devaluation. Devaluation. Please write. Devaluation is the change of the central parity change of the central parity in a direction of losing value. This is the devaluation. If there will be the change of the central parity, that the Czech crown will be more expensive, this green color, I would call it revaluation. Revaluation. It's again the change on the central parity revaluation. So once more, it was devaluation if there was the change of the central parity. So me as a central bank will do the new declaration. I will say now we are changing the central parity to 30 from 25. So it's devaluation of the currency. If me as a spokesman of the central bank will say, so now we are deciding to do the change of the central parity to 20 from 25, it will be revaluation. So I will change again to exchange rate regimes. Please write now. Please write now. What is it? Crawling peg. What is crawling peg? It's a form of the fixed exchange rate. Crawling peg, the form of the fixed exchange rate. What does it mean? That means that I will announce ahead the changes of the central parity. So I will declare from the 1st of January 2021, there will be the change of the central parity from 25 to 27. From the 1st of January 2022, there will be the change from 27 to 29. So I will ahead declare what will be the changes of the central parity for the companies, economic subjects, investors know what will be in the future for them could prepare for it. So please write, crawling back, that there are regularly announced ahead the changes of the central party. Regularly announced ahead changes of the central party. It's because I need to tell it ahead because I want that economic subjects would know it ahead. They could prepare for this situation. In production, for example. And the last form of the fixed exchange rate I would like you to know is the currency board. Currency board is the exchange rate without oscillatory belt. So if I will say currency board, there will be €1 for 25 Czech crowns. No oscillatory belt. I have written it here. So this is currency board. This is the fixed exchange rate. So without any oscillatory belt. So, and now I would like you to understand what's the difference between floating, managed floating, and the fixed exchange rate. It's sometimes badly understood by students. So, floating means that the exchange rate is fixed according to the demand and supply in the currency market. Me, as a central bank, can enter the currency market and to influence the exchange rate. But otherwise, it's floating. Fixed exchange rate means that according to some formula, me as a central bank, I have set this central parity. I have declared it, and I must now hold the exchange rate if I have this oscillatory belt within the oscillatory belt. So now please let's continue to a very important topic, and this means exchange rate interventions. Exchange rate interventions. Because I have told you many times that the central bank can intervene in the currency market. So if you imagine currency market, I repeat, there are exporters, importers, many investors, as I have told you, but it's also a possibility that the central bank can enter the currency market. And now we are going to talk about it. So, interventions in the currency market means that the central bank enters the currency market and influences the exchange rate. So, please write that it's